During the Great Depression of 2026, both the new government and the public are so desperate for money that the California Grand Lottery is launched. If someone kills the winner before sundown, they get to legally take their jackpot. The only rule is not to use bullets. In LA in 2030, Sean's just won the lottery, so now he's running away from a huge crowd that wants to kill him. Sean doesn't hesitate to fight them all, quickly bringing them down before escaping by jumping over a fence. Afterward, Sean breaks into a home through the window and finds a grandmother, so he immediately takes her phone and destroys it. Outside, a drone is keeping track of everything. Sean takes a moment to regain his breath, and the lady takes out a Grand Lottery bolt gun to kill him on the spot. Then the lady breaks her ticket to summon the lottery team, who breaks down the door and confirms the winner is dead. She's given a huge check for $22 million and appears on TV. Katie arrives in LA to restart her acting career and encounters a man mistreating his daughter on the bus. She intervenes and pretends to be a cop. Later, she realizes she has stolen a lady's watch. She notices the tension and violence in the city and hears about the upcoming $3.6 billion lottery jackpot. Meanwhile, Noel prepares his weapons at home. Katie rents a room from Shadi, who lied about its condition and has an obnoxious boyfriend. The next day, the upstairs bathroom leaks, ruining Katie's clothes before an audition. Shadi's only help is to rent her clothes, and Katie is forced to spend her savings on a new outfit and take a cab. The cab driver makes inappropriate comments and charges her $400 to participate in something. Katie, a former child actor who had to put her career on hold to take care of her sick mother, decides to give acting another try after her mother's passing. During her audition, she accidentally activates a lottery ticket, registers her as a player. Despite her efforts, she is disliked and kicked out of the audition. Katie wins the lottery, triggering a violent attack from those around her, including actresses and self-defense class participants. Despite her confusion, Katie defends herself using her stage fighting skills and manages to evade her attackers. In the text, Katie is attacked and thrown into a yoga class where chaos ensues. Noel comes to her rescue and offers her free saves, but later requires payment for his protection services. Katie reluctantly signs his contract after exhausting the free saves. Now he starts fighting people for real, even using Katie as a weapon to kick them off. He also ties her to his back to keep her safe and uses a belt as a whip to attack from afar. Once all the opponents are down, Katie frees herself and takes Noel's paralysis dart gun. After easily taking it back, Noel makes sure to put the unconscious bodies in the right position. He explains that the lottery drone, which is already outside, posts the winner's location every 14 minutes, so they must get going. As they run out of the building, Noel points out that the rules don't allow the other players to kill each other. The people at the food truck throw a knife at her, and Noel helps her dodge it before they get in his car to escape. As the duo drives through town, people nearby receive an alert of her location and prepare to join the fight. Noel explains the lottery to Katie, who is unfamiliar with it because she and her mom only watch movies and baking shows, avoiding the news. While driving, they are chased and attacked, but Noel manages to evade the attackers and seeks refuge in an old warehouse. The text describes a chaotic scene in which a car is being chased by bikers through a warehouse. The occupants of the car, Katie and Noel, are under attack and trying to escape. Noel shoots a guy with a dart, drives in circles to evade enemies, and creates a diversion by pushing the car out quietly. The bikers eventually notice their escape when a Molotov cocktail falls on the ground. Katie wants to quit, so Noel takes her to the quit line. The bikers find them, and a chase ensues. An enemy jumps into the car and bites Noel's arm. He fights back and asks Katie to drive despite her protests. Noel and Katie are in a car being chased by bikers. Noel puts an extra helmet on his opponent before kicking her out of the car. They escape through a wall and stop a car, causing a biker to crash. The car breaks down due to the damage, and Noel stops Katie from running away. He explains that he wants to help her. Katie throws sand at Noel's face, punches him, and then runs away from the police. She hides in a wax museum among the statues. Then Katie calls Shadi and requests to borrow her car. Shadi keeps asking Katie where she is, causing Katie to realize Shadi is playing too. At that moment, a statue welcomes Katie to the museum, giving away her location. Afterward, Shadi and DJ try to enter the museum, but the guard reminds them they're banned because they did the dirty with a statue. Shadi punches him to knock him out, and the couple rushes inside. Katie hears them and hides behind a statue. However, when she tries to sneak out, she's seen. DJ immediately pushes her on top of a desk, and Katie throws a bottle at Shadi's head before tossing sand at DJ's face to get him off her. The couple teams up to fight Katie, who defends herself with a statue staff. They start beating Katie up with the staff, and Katie retaliates by throwing statues at them. The fight continues in the horror room with props and weapons, and ends with Shadi throwing a fake axe at Katie. Katie presses a button to bring down the shutter, only to remember what Noel taught her. She fixes the guard's body so he won't choke. Then she rolls out of the museum right before the shutter closes, leaving Shadi and DJ trapped inside. A tour bus guide immediately sees her and announces her location on the microphone. Before attackers can reach her, Noel appears in a police car and takes her away. Katie still doesn't trust him because helping her quit means not getting paid, so she thinks he'll kill her in private. Noel and Katie find themselves in a tense situation when their tour bus starts hitting the back of a car. They end up seeking help from Machine Gun Kelly and are forced to put him to sleep with a dart before seeking safety in his panic room. A crowd gathers in the living room and an arm tries keeping the door open, so Noel gets ready to shoot it. Katie takes the gun and shoots a dart at the arm, closing the door for good. The room is fully equipped, and the duo can watch the crowd on the security camera. A wary Katie keeps the gun aimed at Noel, so he sits by her side and shares sweet facts about himself to prove he's a good guy. Suddenly, the keychain falls from Katie's pocket, and when he says it looks cool, Katie opens up. She chose to become an actress for her mom, who loved movies and celebrities. Her mother knew Hollywood could be hell and gifted Katie the keychain to remind her she would be proud of her no matter what. When she was younger, she made good money as a child actor, but her dad ran away with all of it. Noel is very understanding and comforting, so Katie gives him back the gun. Noel explains his priorities to someone who wants to know why he would help her quit. He values saving people's lives and making enough money to continue saving lives. Meanwhile, a crowd tries to open a door to no avail. Shadi tries to wake up Kelly, then drags him into a pool and threatens him to share a door password, which is the meme 6969. Katie and Noel witness this and become angry, realizing they have no choice but to make a call and ask for a favor. He orders something called a phone strike and rushes to put Katie's phone inside a safe. Then the duo holds the door as Shadi uses the password. However, the crowd freezes when they hear all their phones ringing with an amber alert. However, this is a trap, and their phones start exploding, burning a variety of body parts. As everyone deals with their burns, Katie and Noel come out to escape, although Noel stops to put out the flames on someone's groin. Outside, a bunch of guards are waiting with damage-proof cars and rubber bullet guns. They only want to take Katie, but she forces them to bring Noel as well. During the ride, Katie asks if Noel works with these people. He explains he used to, but nowadays he's a freelancer. Moments later, they make it to headquarters, and Katie meets Lewis, learning this is his security company. She isn't impressed by him because he keeps mocking Noel and asks to be taken out of the city. However, Lewis gifts her a new phone and points out she's in the safest building in the country. He also shows off the grenades in his pocket. Lewis gives a tour to Katie, showing her the wall with all the anonymous winners they saved. They charge 30% for their services, and Katie signs the contract, getting a part of the money for Noel. They see a crowd gathering outside on the security cameras, so Lewis decides to move Katie to a hidden underground fortress using decoy vehicles. Noel used to be a mercenary and quit after realizing his victims weren't always bad guys. He now gives the money he makes to the families of his victims and teammates. Katie's dad used to be her manager and made her work all day since she was 8. When she turned 18, she told him she wanted to manage her own money, so he disappeared with it. Katie had to take care of her sick mother, who recently passed away, leaving her with only $600 and a bus ticket to L.A. An employee then brings a prosthetics machine. Katie undergoes a transformation with a mask to look like an old man. Noel is concerned about the high maintenance costs of the facility and the lack of clients. After Katie completes her disguise, Noel realizes that Lewis is pretending to protect the winners in order to secretly harm them. Lewis takes them to a car, and Katie keeps requesting for Noel to come along, which Lewis turns down. Getting desperate, Katie kicks Lewis in the groin, and Noel uses the distraction to open the garage door. Then he shoots all the guards with his darts as the crowd rushes in, but they don't recognize Katie and ignore her. Noel drags her out and gives her the keycard he stole from a guard, telling her to run while he buys some time. More guards appear and hold Noel down while Lewis kicks him for information. Suddenly, all the AI-driven decoy cars take off, with Katie hiding in one of them, so Lewis sends his people to follow them. Katie takes off her mask and changes the route, alerting Lewis's system. Social media goes wild as the drone loses track of Katie. She gains fans and is seen as a hero. Lewis threatens to kill Noel, and despite his pleas for her to save herself, Katie turns the car around to meet Lewis. Meanwhile, Lewis takes Noel to an old theater. He always knew they were killing civilians. He never cared because it was easy money. Lewis admits he doesn't like to share, and that's why he killed their team while making it look like it was Noel's fault. With only 15 minutes left, Katie gets a bolt gun from the glove compartment and rushes inside the theater, finding Lewis and Noel on the stage. She threatens to self-delete so nobody gets the money, and Lewis doesn't believe her. So Katie points out he'll kill her anyway. She also shows him she's recording this for social media. That way he can't clean the fingerprints off the gun and say he did it. Katie starts ranting about her life and almost pulls the trigger, but then Lewis drops the handcuff keys and asks for a deal. Katie pretends to give him the gun, but kicks him off the stage, revealing she had been acting. With Lewis out, the other players start coming after Katie again. A woman named Katie is being attacked by a man named Lewis at a theater. She tries to defend herself using objects around her. A cop tries to help, but Lewis continues to attack Katie. Meanwhile, another person named Noel, who is handcuffed to a chair, starts fighting off a crowd that bursts in. In a tense battle, Katie, Noel, Lewis, and Shaddy engage in a series of fights and confrontations. As the clock ticks down, a large crowd enters the theater, complicating the situation. Ultimately, Noel manages to defeat Lewis with the help of symbols, while Katie has to climb the stage decorations for safety. The bus lady tries to follow Katie, but she kicks her off, and Noel starts breaking the decorations to prevent others from pursuing Katie. As Lewis' men arrive, half of them create a human staircase for Lewis to climb, while the others tackle Noel. Lewis reaches Katie on the scaffolding, and they start fighting until Katie slips. She hangs on the edge and reveals she used her keychain to activate one of his grenades, which then explodes. Lewis dies, and Katie falls. However, her fans appear with a big flag and catch her just in time. As the countdown reaches 0, Katie hugs Noel and promises to pay him 50%. The lottery people come to give her the check, and she announces she doesn't want to be an actress anymore. 6 months later, Katie and Noel are involved in various charitable activities, including a free protection agency, a school of self-defense and stage fighting, and a center for kids with difficult family situations. Noel's attempt to open a Ninja Turtles-themed pizzeria results in a lawsuit for copyright infringement. Additionally, the duo goes on a vacation on their own super yacht.